Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 24th of January 2024. In today's newspaper analysis, we are going to understand the most important articles from the newspaper. Apart from this, we have also included a mapping topic from the current affairs. And this mapping topic will help you to solve map related questions in the prelims exam. So let us quickly see the list of articles that we are going to cover in today's analysis. Here we are going to cover the first mapping topic, which will be based on Red Sea. So we are going to understand that. Okay. So under places in news, we are going to understand about the location of Red Sea. And let me tell you why we are understanding about Red Sea. It is because of multiple reasons. Recently what has happened that people who are based in Yemen. So Yemen is a country which is there in Arabian Peninsula. It is the southernmost country in Arabian Peninsula. So in Yemen, Houthi rebels reside. And Houthi rebels had started attacking on all the cargo ships that were passing through the, let's say, Gulf of Aden or Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. And so the ships that were passing through these things and moving, let's say, towards the Red Sea or from the Red Sea, so those ships were being attacked by Houthi rebels. All right. So this is the thing. And in retaliation, right, in retaliation, the United States of America has, let's say, started an international alliance which is known as Operation Prosperity Guardian. Okay, that is known as Operation Prosperity Guardian. So I'm going to write down the name of the operation for you. It is known as Operation Prosperity Guardian. So this Operation Prosperity Guardian is a kind of, let's say, operation against the Houthi rebels, against the attacks that were happening on the cargo ships that were moving through Red Sea. All right. So that's why this particular area is now a disputed region. The region itself is not disputed, but the thing is the ships are being attacked by Houthi rebels who are based in Yemen, and Houthi rebels are being supported or financed by Iran. And recently what has happened in today's newspaper, it was mentioned that United States of America and UK, both of them have together started, let's say, second phase of strikes or second phase of attack on Yemen. So we can see that escalation is happening in the war front in this particular area also. Earlier, Russia-Ukraine war was already going on. Then we have seen the war, let's say, between Israel and Hamas. And now this is another, let's say, theater where warfare has just, let's say, taken its space. So that's why it is important for us to understand about the Red Sea region. All right. So let us see the important regions that are located near the Red Sea. So here, if we talk about Red Sea, right, Red Sea is this thing. So let us see the, let's say, northern and southernmost points in Red Sea. So in south, we have here, we have a Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. So what is a strait? A strait is a narrow channel of water that connects two big water bodies and it separates two land masses. So when we talk about the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb, it connects the Gulf of Aden with the Red Sea and it separates Yemen from Djibouti, as we can see over here, right? And if we talk about the Red Sea is, let's say, to the south. We have discussed what are the, let's say, important locations in south. Let us discuss about the important locations in the north also. So in the north over here, we can see a peninsula, and this peninsula is known as Sinai Peninsula. What is peninsula? Peninsula is a land mass which is surrounded by water from three sides, and it is surrounded by land mass from the fourth side. So when we talk about this peninsula, on one side it has Red Sea, right, water. On the, let's say, western side it has Gulf of Suez. On the eastern side it has Gulf of Aqaba. So this Sinai Peninsula is, let's say, shared, Sinai Peninsula has its maritime border with Red Sea, Gulf of Suez and Gulf of Aqaba. And this Gulf of Suez finally connects with the Suez Canal. And this Suez Canal connects the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, Suez Canal is a very important and one of the most busiest, let's say, canal through which huge number of cargo ships pass. It is the most busiest sea routes in the world. All right. So this is the thing. Now let us talk about the countries that border the Red Sea. Which countries border the Red Sea? If we talk about the eastern side, one of the countries that borders Red Sea is Yemen. The other country is Saudi Arabia. Okay, other country is Saudi Arabia. And then if we talk about the western part, in western part here, this particular big country, it is Egypt, right? This is Egypt. And this is Sudan. Sudan also shares borders with Red Sea. Apart from this, we have another country which is Eritrea. This is the country. Then we have this country which is known as Djibouti. Okay, Djibouti is a country. Okay, so these are the countries that share border with Red Sea. But apart from this, there are some other important places also that we have discussed over here. And in this particular map, we have also included some other places apart from Red Sea. What are those places? Here we have the Persian Gulf. Why Persian Gulf is important for you to understand? Because Iran has linkages with Yemen. Iran supports or funds the warfare wherever Houthi rebels are involved in. Okay, so that's why you need to understand about the location of Iran. Also, you need to understand about the location of the Persian Gulf. All right, so this is the thing. So with this, let us now quickly move to the first article of the day from the newspaper. So this is the article. This article is important under international relations. So it says the larger message to New Delhi from Red Sea. All right. So we will understand about this article quickly. So this is topic number 1. The larger message to New Delhi from Red Sea. All right. So we are going to understand about the larger message to New Delhi from Red Sea. So basically, as we discussed in the beginning of today's discussion, that the Red Sea, right? Red Sea, which is, let's say, like, a kind of like a area of tension at this point of time. So we are going to understand about the conflict that is arising in the Red Sea region. Okay. So if we talk about relevance of this particular article, this is important under GS paper 2 of the mains exam. GS paper 2 of the mains exam under international relations. Also, this article is important for the prelims exam. It is important for the prelims exam under current affairs and IR. Okay, under current affairs plus international relations, right? So that's the thing, current affairs of national and international importance, like that. So this topic is important. Through this topic, we will understand about some factual thing, the mapping related aspects that we discussed today, and also we are going to discuss about some of the important things that are happening in the Red Sea region. All right. So as we discussed this Red Sea, right? As we discussed Red Sea. This particular Red Sea is in news. Why it is in news? Because of multiple things. Because Houthis are attacking. Okay, Houthis are attacking where? On the cargo ships that are passing through it. And what are the reasons why Houthis are attacking? What are the reasons that, like, Houthis have started attacking on the ships that are passing through it? Okay, let us understand the reasons also. So Houthis are attacking on cargo ships in solidarity with the Palestinian people, with the people who are located in the Gaza Strip. These Palestinian people are being attacked, they are being targeted. There is a, let's say, like, genocide that is happening in the Gaza Strip, and this is being orchestrated, this is being done by Israel. Okay, so Houthi rebels, they want to protect the, let's say, people. They want to protect whom? They want to protect the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip. So in solidarity to them, they are attacking on the ships that are passing through the Red Sea. Okay, This is the thing. So they are doing it in solidarity with Palestinians, okay, in solidarity with Palestinians who are stranded in the Gaza Strip, okay, who are stranded in the Gaza Strip. All right, so this is the reason. And so the thing is, in return, what the United States of America is doing now, USA plus Britain, what they have done, they have started targeting the Houthis, and they have attacked on various places that are there in Egypt. All right, various places that are there in Yemen. That's the thing. So the United States of America has launched an operation also. USA has launched an operation which is known as Operation Prosperity Guardian. Okay, Operation Prosperity Guardian. USA has launched. And why this operation? What is the purpose of this particular operation? So basically, Operation Prosperity Guardian is to safeguard, okay, is to safeguard the Red Sea region from Houthis. All right, to safeguard Red Sea region from Houthis, and they have asked various countries from across the world to join the Operation Prosperity Guardian. And when we talk about India, so what was India's stake? Did India join it? So the thing is, when we talk about India, India has declined, right? India has declined to join this initiative. India has declined to join the Operation Prosperity Guardian. This is important. Apart from this, here we need to understand that there were some ships that were passing through the Red Sea, and they were destined to come to India. So, like, you know, though there are two ships especially that are in news. So these two ships have also met with an attack. They like these ships were also attacked by like Houthi rebels. And what Indian Navy has done, Indian Navy has escorted those ships from the Red Sea region to Indian Ocean, like, you know, to let's say, like, you know, to India. So they have protected it. So I am going to write down the name of those maritime vessels also. One of the maritime vessel is known as MV Camp Pluto. Okay, so let's discuss about the Indian ships, right? Indian ships. Indian ships. So these ships are known as maritime vessels. They are known as maritime vessels. So what is the name of the first maritime vessel? It is known as Camp Pluto. CHEM, Camp Pluto. This is the first maritime vessel. When we talk about the second maritime vessel, MV means maritime vessel. Name of the second maritime vessel is known as Sai Baba, MV Sai Baba. Okay, MV Sai Baba. So these are the two ships, let's say, that were escorted by the Indian naval, let's say, ships. So, like, you know, Indian Navy has deployed the guided missile destroyers. Like, you know, it has deployed various ships. It is known as INS Mormugao, IMS Kochi, and INS Kolkata. Okay, so let us discuss about the response from the Indian Navy. Okay, so like Indian Navy's response. Okay, Indian Navy's response. So Indian Navy has not entered into any kind of warfare with any country, including Yemen. But what Indian Navy has done, it has deployed some of its naval ships to protect the maritime vessels that were coming towards India. The name of these maritime vessels I have already mentioned. One of the maritime vessel is known as maritime vessel Cam Pluto, right? So this was an oil tanker. It was on its way to New Mangalore port from Al Jubail port in Saudi Arabia. And second is maritime vessel Sai Baba. It is a Gabon owned Indian flagged crude oil tanker, right? So this is the thing. So Indian Navy has deployed 3 naval ships. I am going to write down name of these ships also. Name of these ships are important. It is known as INS Mormugao. Okay, INS Mormugao. It is known as INS Mormugao. INS stands for Indian Naval Ship. Then second one is known as INS Kochi and INS Kolkata. Indian Naval Ship Kochi. Third is Indian Naval Ship Kolkata. So Indian Navy have deployed these 3 ships, and these ships does have missile destroyers on board of it. Okay, this is the thing. Now, when Indian ships were being attacked, right, what did the Ministry of External Affairs do? The Ministry of External Affairs have reached out to Tehran. Okay, they have reached out to Tehran. Tehran means it is the capital of Iran. It is the capital of Iran. So, from the Ministry of External Affairs, they have talked to Iran because Iran supports the Houthi rebels. Okay. So that, like, let's say we can protect our ships from that region. We don't want to enter into any warfare. We do not want to join the Operation Prosperity Guardian, which is launched by USA, and we do not, let's say, take part in any kind of, let's say, warfare that is happening or that may escalate in near future there in the Red Sea region. Okay, so that's why we were interested in protecting only our ships. That's why Indian Navy has gone forward to escort the naval ships, and Ministry of External Affairs have talked to Iran. Alright, this is the thing. But the thing is, from the the main part of this article, it says the larger message to New Delhi from the Red Sea. Okay, so we are going to understand about what is that message. So author says that the Red Sea situation will fade away, but India's new two-front situation as continental and maritime challenges cannot be whisked away. So basically what is happening, India is also facing a kind of maritime problem. What maritime problem are we facing? Here in this article, they have discussed about the challenges that are posed to India by China. Okay, so China is posing huge number of challenges for India. What challenges is it posing? So number one, China is, let's say, investing in ports in all those countries that surround India. For example, it has invested in ports that are in Sri Lanka. It is investing in port development in Maldives. It has invested in port development in Myanmar. It has invested in port development in Pakistan as well. So in this article, the author says that if we look into China, so China is pushing forward, right? And it has invested in creating many ports. This includes Hambantota port, which is there in Sri Lanka. It includes Kyakpyu port, which is in Myanmar, and it enables the PLAN. PLAN means, let's say, PLAN is a kind of short form for People's Liberation Army and Navy of China. Okay, PLAN stands for People's Liberation Army and Navy. So here the author has mentioned it this way, People Liberation Army Navy. So basically it is People's Liberation Army Navy. They are part of China. So what China is doing, China is investing in port development in all those countries that surround India. Kyukpyu port in Myanmar, Hambantota port in Sri Lanka, and it is also interested in building port in Maldives because the recent president-elect in Maldives, so he has an anti-India stand. So he is, let's say, not let's say focusing on creating better relation with India. So he is tilted towards building his relation with China. He has visited China, and after visiting China, he has given a deadline to India that India should, let's say, like, bring back all the troops that India has stationed in Maldives. This is the thing. So here, through this article, author says that now what we need to do, we need to balance our priorities related to maritime security. We need to first of all, let's say, like, protect our maritime borders from influence of China, and at the same time we need to stay neutral when it comes to Red Sea, because like if we enter into any kind of escalation, right, there in the Red Sea region, maybe China may take opportunity out of it, and China may, let's say, like, use this as an opportunity for its benefit. This is the thing. So with this, let us now move to another article. It says the need to overhaul a semiconductor scheme. Okay, we are going to discuss about this article quickly. This is going to be topic number 2. The need to overhaul a semiconductor scheme. The need to overhaul a semiconductor scheme. So let us understand what is semiconductor, why semiconductors are important. So when we talk about relevance of this particular article, why this article is important, right? When we talk about relevance, right? This particular article is important for the prelims exam, right? Under science and technology section. And this article is also important for mains exam under GS paper 3, right? GS paper 3, again under science and technology. Apart from this, it is also important under government schemes. So let us understand about this particular topic, right? This topic which says the need to overhaul a semiconductor scheme. So when we discuss about semiconductors, right? When we discuss about semiconductors, so we need to understand what are semiconductors first, right? We need to understand what are semiconductors. So what are semiconductors? To answer this question, what are semiconductors, right? To answer this question, we need to understand this particular fact, right? To answer this question, what are semiconductors, we need to understand semiconductors are those equipments, right, that has a conductivity which is in the range of between conductors and insulators. So basically semiconductors have property, these are those materials, right? These are those semiconductors are those materials, right, that has conductivity, right, that has conductivity which is some sort of in the middle between conductors and insulators. Okay, conductors and insulators. Now what are conductors? For example, if we talk about metal, if we talk about copper, so through copper, through metal, electricity easily flows. If we talk about insulator are those materials through which electricity or current cannot pass. For example, if I talk about wood, right, through wood electricity cannot pass. So the thing is, those equipments where the conductivity, right, the ability to allow the electricity to pass through it is in the middle somewhere, they are known as semiconductors. So when we talk about examples of semiconductor, what can be the examples of semiconductor? So there are many examples of semiconductor. Like for example, we have silicon, we have germanium, etc. Okay, silicon, germanium. Silicon has an atomic number of 14, right? And germanium has an atomic number, I think it is 18. So this is the thing. So silicon and germanium are examples of semiconductor. And if we talk about what are the use of semiconductor, like why semiconductors are used, right? Usage or applications of semiconductor. If we talk about usage or applications of semiconductor. So semiconductors are used in all, let's say, like, all kind of electronic equipments like mobile phones, computers, digital watches. So any kind of electronic equipment that you have. So in those electronic equipment, there are chips that are, let's say, like, there are semiconductor chips that are there. Okay, so like they are used in electronic appliances. I'm just writing electronic appliances. For example, they are used in smartphones. Okay, they are used in smartphones, they are used in laptops, etc. Now, it is very important for us to understand that why we are very much concerned about semiconductors. Why we are concerned about semiconductors? Because the thing is, like, India is a very big market. Here huge number of smartphones are being sold every day. We have 140 crore people in the country, and let's say the working age population in India generally has a mobile phone. And if we talk about these mobile phones, they are, let's say, like, the components of these mobile phones are being built in some other countries, for example in South Korea, in China, and let's say, like, and the small components are made over there, they're imported in India, and Indian government had earlier policies. Under those policies, let's say, like, those equipments that are already made, they were assembled in India. Since they were assembled in India, only those people used to find jobs in India who were, let's say, like, who are less skilled or semi-skilled people, because they were working on the assembly line. But if I talk about highly skilled people like engineers, researchers, scientists, etc., so they were not finding good jobs. Why? Because these things are being manufactured outside in India. Now, here through this article, the author says that we need to change that policy. We need to overhaul that policy. We need to focus on building capacity, right, for semiconductor design in India, and semiconductor, let's say, like, their design and their fabrication should happen in India. So in this article, author says that we need to change the policy altogether, right? We need to change the policy. So here I'm going to write down name of some policies that are already existing, right? So what policies are existing in India? So here in this article, author has talked about two such policies. One of the policies known as Design Linked Incentive Scheme. Design Linked Incentive Scheme, right? Design Linked Incentive Scheme. In short, it is known as DLI, Design Linked Incentive Scheme. So this is one of the policy that government of India has just uprised. So in this article, author says that government have gone for midterm appraisal of this particular policy. Apart from this, we have another policy also, right, where we talk about, let's say, fabricate, assembling the already made electronic components. So here author says that all those electronic applications, right, all those so author says that this particular design linked incentive scheme, government is promoting this particular thing so that the designing of the semiconductor chips should happen in India. And in this article, they have said the government has focused on, let's say, like, government said that the product should be an India designed chip. In that case, there will be an incentive that will be provided. So the thing is, what are the applications, let's say, like, what are the applications of semiconductors, and where does this scheme find its, let's say, like, application? So it says semiconductor can be used for making chips that are used in artificial intelligence. It can be used for, let's say, those applications that are related to defense. So usually those things should not be outsourced. So we need to focus on designing of these things inside India. We should not import it from outside. So the author says we need to overhaul the, let's say, we need to overhaul the semiconductor schemes that are already existing, and author has apprised this particular scheme. So here author says that an overhauled semiconductor design linked incentive scheme would fortify India's comparative advantage and augment its forays into other stages of the semiconductor global value chain. So semiconductor global value chain, so global value chain, in short it is known as GVC. So global value chain plays a very important role, because somewhere semiconductor is made, manufactured, from there it is distributed across the world, and wherever it goes it is assembled, then it is used, let's say, in mobile chips and all. So that's the thing. So this article is very good. It's related to policies related to semiconductor. Now we have another article. It says limits and borders. Center must consult states for decisions that impinge on their borders. Okay, so this is another article, right? So this is topic number 3. I'm just writing. Limits and borders. Limits and borders, right? To understand this article, you need to understand about, let's say, about India. You need to understand about a concept. The concept is known as federalism. What? The concept is known as federalism. So under federalism, what happens? We have government at various levels. For example, on one level we have the union government, right? We have union, or we can say the central government, right? Union or central government. On the other hand, we have the states in India. We have the state government, right? Union government controls the union territories in India. Okay, it controls the union territories because it appoints administrators over there. When we talk about states in India, we have various states. For example, in this article they have talked about the state of Punjab. Okay, for example, they have talked about the state of Punjab in this article. So there are, right? So the thing is, recently the central government has decided that it's going to demarcate some territories that will be for the border security force, for protecting the, let's say, India. Punjab shares some kind of international border with Pakistan. So central government have decided to demarcate some territory, right, for border security force. However, the Punjab government is of the opinion that land, especially land related aspect, comes under the state, right? It comes under the state. Why? Because we do have the 7th schedule of the Constitution of India. In the 7th schedule, they have mentioned various lists. One of the list is known as union list, the list 1. Then we have the state list, list 2, and then we have concurrent list. So in those lists, subject matters are mentioned on which the, let's say, union government or state government or both of them can make laws. So the thing is, this demarcates the area on which these states or union government does have their authority. So Punjab government has felt that central government is making certain kind of demarcation of land which should be under the purview of the Punjab government. So that's why what they have done, they have reached to the Supreme Court of India. Okay, so they have reached the Supreme Court of India. They have filed a suit. Suit means they have filed a case in the Supreme Court of India, and Supreme Court of India is yet to decide on this matter. So in this article, the author says that center must consult states before decisions that impinge on their powers. Okay, this is the thing. So with this, let us now move to another article. This article is also very important. It says, under junta rule, Myanmar plumbs new depths. Okay, So this is topic number 4. We are going to be quick in understanding this topic. Under, it is written as Junta, but like we pronounce it as junta, Hunta, okay, so we pronounce it that way. So under junta rule, Myanmar plumbs new depths, okay, Myanmar plumbs new depths. So basically what has happened when we talk about Myanmar, so Myanmar is a country, right? Myanmar is a country which is located to the east of India. So Myanmar shares its border with India somewhere, okay? Let's say I have just drawn a rough map of Myanmar. So this is the northeastern portion of India, and over here we have Myanmar, okay? So what has happened in Myanmar, okay, this is the northeastern portion of India, alright. So to make it little clear, I'll just draw the map of other portion of India also, okay, just to make it clear, okay. So Myanmar, what has happened in February 2021, okay, in February 2021, Myanmar's military, okay, Myanmar's military has conducted a coup, C-O-U-P, okay, so it is written as coup, but we pronounce it as coup. So military has conducted a coup. After conducting the coup, what they have done, they have ousted the democratically elected government, and that democratically elected government was led by Aung San Suu Kyi, okay, and name of that government is known as National League for Democracy, okay, so like National League for Democracy, National League for Democracy, it is known as NLD. This National League for Democracy was headed by Aung San, so I'll see this spelling of Aung San Suu Kyi. So she is a lady, okay. So she heads the National League for Democracy. So her government was there, and this particular government was actually democratically elected government. So what military has done in Myanmar, military has conducted a coup, they have conducted an operation, they have detained most of the political leaders, or they have tried to kill the leaders. Many people, many politicians are in exile now. They have, let's say, gone to other countries, they are in exile, and military has been, let's say, like, has taken control of Myanmar. So it has been around 3 years. But the thing is, the National League for Democracy and many other democratic parties, they have created a kind of front, they have created a brotherhood, and they are fighting within Myanmar. A kind of civil unrest is happening in Myanmar, okay. Since a kind of civil unrest is happening in Myanmar, in this particular article, they have analyzed that, like, how Myanmar ranks in Civil Liberty Index. So we are going to talk about an index, we are going to discuss about an index, right, and this index is known as the Civil Liberty Index, okay, it is known as Civil Liberty Index. So in Civil Liberty Index, Myanmar is performing at a very lower position. So Myanmar, along with North Korea and Syria, they are at the lowest position, okay. So here, when we talk about here, Syria, North Korea and Myanmar, so they are performing at the lowest level, okay, in Civil Liberty Index. In this article, they have talked about it. They have included various, let's say, like, various kind of data points also they have included, and they have mentioned about that how these countries are performing Civil Liberty Index. They have also mentioned about liberal democracy index, electoral democracy index, right? Freedom of expression index. So they have mentioned about press freedom index, human development index, and so they have mentioned about various indexes and how Myanmar is performing in all those indexes. So according to this article, Myanmar has plumbed, it has gone very much down in these indexes, right? That talk about press freedom index, let's say like, civil liberty index, liberal democracy index, electoral democracy index, freedom of expression index, press freedom index, like that. So they talk about huge number of journalists have also been imprisoned in Myanmar. Okay. So with this, let us now move to another article. It says gender equity in education. The need to focus on early childhood education. All right. So here we need to understand about what do we mean by gender equity in education. We will quickly understand this topic. It's just a small topic, but they have written in-depth article on this. This is going to be topic number 5 for us. Okay. Topic number 5. So it says gender equity in education. Gender equity in education. The need to focus on early childhood education. The need to focus on early childhood education. So let's discuss about this topic now. All right. So now before we understand about gender equity, we need to understand like why this topic is important. When we talk about relevance of this particular topic, right, relevance, this topic is important under, right, social justice, under the topic of social justice. This topic is important under GS paper 2 of the mains exam. Okay, it is important under GS paper 2 of the mains exam. So let us understand the concept of equity. What? Concept of equity. Right? So what do we mean by equity? And here especially they are talking about gender equity. Okay? So let me write down this as gender equity. Okay, they are talking about gender equity. So when we talk about gender equity, we talk about, let's say like, access to basic facilities to different genders in India. For example, generally we consider 2 genders, males and females. Apart from this, let's say like, there have been other genders also that have been, let's say like, recognized across the world. Although in India there were a case, let's say that the Supreme Court of India was hearing. So Supreme Court of India has not legally recognized these genders, right? So the thing is, here we talk about gender equity in terms of children. So here we are talking about, let's say like, males and female student, male and female students, okay? Males and female students. So when we talk about male and female, do they have access to similar resources? Are they treated similarly at home, at school? Do they get proper opportunities to get educated, right? So we talk about the parity in access, we talk about parity in treatment, we talk about, let's say like, the kind of opportunities that they are given during their lifetime. So the thing is, some people have conducted research on this particular topic and they have identified that the thing is, although let's say males are given more favorable treatment, they are able to attend schools and colleges. However, when they did study, when they did survey, they identified that like, both of them, males and females, they have, let's say like, equal capacity to excel in education, right? So they have equal capacity to excel in education. But the thing is, in this article they mention about another important parameter which is known as early, this is known as early childhood education. Early childhood education. In short, ECE. So what is early childhood education? Basically, when we talk about early childhood education, right, we talk about, let's say, when our children is below the age of 14 years, means like, someone who is below the age of 6 years also. So during that time, in the early childhood, do they get access to education? Are they, let's say, like, provided the opportunity of learning? So in this article, they say those children who get early childhood education, better early childhood education, so this gives them 10 times more benefit in their later life. Okay, so early childhood education plays a very important role in overall development of the child. And related to this, they have cited name of a study also, which is known as recently, let's say, like, which is known as National Achievement Survey. Okay, here related to gender equity, they have mentioned about a survey. This is known as National Achievement Survey. So this National Achievement Survey was conducted in the year of 2017. So this survey has found that, like, both males and females, if provided opportunity, does have similar learning potential. And here they also talk about the annual status of education report. An annual status of education report, which is known as ASER report, they talk about a term which is known as early years. It talks about early years, means like during early years of a children, if they get educated, if they get access to education, so this gives them, let's say, 10 times more benefit, right, in their life, in their lifetime. So this is the thing. So this article talks about that the gender gap widens with the progressive levels of education owing to greater barriers to schooling that girls face due to social norms and deeply ingrained gender stereotypes correlated with biological factors such as adolescence, like that. Okay, this is the thing. So with this, now let us talk about another article. It says analyzing the rising gap in incomes. Okay, this is a topic which is important under Indian economy, right? So we are going to understand about this topic, which is going to be topic number 6, right? Topic number 6, analyzing the rising gap in incomes. So basically, to analyze the rising gap in income, right? So let us discuss about the relevance first. This particular topic is important under GS paper 3 of the mains exam, right? And the subject is Indian economy. Subject is Indian economy. So here in this article, they are analyzing the rising gap in incomes, right? So this topic is related to, right? This topic is related to inclusive development. Okay, it is related to inclusive growth or inclusive development. It is associated with that. So let's discuss about this topic. So recently the State Bank of India, what? State Bank of India has conducted a survey. Right? State Bank of India has conducted a survey to understand about, let's say, how many people pay tax. Okay, how many people pay tax. And so, like, based on the taxes that people pay, they have categorized them into various categories. Okay, they have categorized them into various categories. So generally tax are paid by those people who earn high, right? Those people who earn, let's say, high. So those people who come under tax bracket. But there are many people who earn less. They do not fall in tax bracket. Okay, they do not fall in tax bracket. So the thing is, these are around 10% people in India. So like out of the survey, that if they have surveyed 100 people, 10 people are not included there, 90 people are included who pay taxes. So after this they have analyzed that what consists of rising income gaps, why income gap is rising. So in this article they have talked about various things. I mean, like, there are people who are self-employed who are themselves just working and earning livelihood for themselves. For example, there can be street hawker, there can be a shop owner, like that. And at the same time there can be some people who are self-employed, but at the same time they have employed other people in their own office. So that is there. So to calculate the let's say income gap, they have taken the help of a coefficient which is known as Gini coefficient, okay, or we can say it to be a Gini coefficient, okay. This is Gini coefficient. So we are going to understand about this term Gini coefficient in this article. All right. So basically in Gini coefficient, what happens, there are two extremes in Gini coefficient. One of the extreme is 0, other extreme is 1. What do we mean by 0? 0 means, let's say, like complete equality. 0 showcases indicating perfect equality. 0 indicates perfect equality. When we talk about 1, it indicates perfect inequality. It indicates perfect inequality. So after conducting this particular survey, what data did they come up with? What trend does it showcase? The trend that it showcases, it says that the inequality in India is going down, okay. So like here they have mentioned about some figures that overall the Gini coefficient in 2017-18 was 0.4297. Now this is 0.4197. Okay, so Gini coefficient, for example, in 2017-18, the Gini coefficient was 0.42, right? 0.4297. But if we talk about the latest data, which is 2022-23, 2022-23, this is 0.4197. So the thing is, value of Gini coefficient has gone down. It means it indicates, let's say, it is moving towards perfect equality. It is moving towards equality. This is the thing. Okay, so in this article, basically they have given other figures also calculating inequality. What you need to do, you need to understand about this particular thing. Go through this graph in your free time, download this PDF from the description and learn this particular topic, okay. However, they have given other data also. They have mentioned about periodic labor force survey, right, the PLFS data. So we will discuss about that at a later stage. Now we have another article. It says US Britain launched second round of military strikes, right. So the United States of America and Britain, they have launched second round of military strikes on Yemen. Why? Because they want to target those places that are held, right, by Houthis, okay. Why Yemen's Houthis are being attacked by USA and Britain? Because Yemen's Houthis are attacking on ships, cargo ships that are passing through the Red Sea, and in retaliation the United States of America has launched an operation that is known as Operation let's say Prosperity Guardian. This is the Operation Prosperity Guardian. So this Operation Prosperity Guardian is to, let's say, is to protect or safeguard the ships that are passing through the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb towards the Red Sea, okay. This is the thing. So it showcases that another let's say theater for warfare is being created, okay. This is the thing. We discussed about the mapping topic also related to this in the beginning of this article. So I have discussed about this particular issue also in the beginning itself. Now we have another article. It says 22 Vaibhav fellows to build long-term research synergy. So Government of India does have a scheme. This is known as Vaibhav scheme. Okay, Vaibhav scheme. Under this scheme, what the Government of India is doing, it is attracting the, let's say, like those people who are Indians, but they are involved in scientific activities in some foreign universities and institutions. The top level professors and researchers. For example, those people who are working in the University of Oxford, those people who are working in the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, those people who are working in the University of Michigan, University of Geneva, University of Waterloo, Canada, University of Oslo, etc. So basically, the researchers from those countries will be invited in India. They will be staying in India for about 1 or 2 months. They will be residing in Indian Institute of Technology, Indian Institute of Science, and other top level scientific institutions in the country, and they are going to train our students about research related activities that are happening abroad, that are happening in other countries, right? So the thing is, as of now, 22 fellows have been selected, and this is for developing long-term synergy related to research, right? And this is being sponsored by the Department of Science and Technology. Okay, this is being sponsored by the Department of Science and Technology. So this is related to science and technology, so that's why I thought of covering this particular topic. So that will be all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.